I mean, honestly, I thought Brady was a made-up name. I didn't think he actually existed. I hope he's learned his lesson as far as truck drivers. Praying using military and, well, he had a compound. You'd almost consider him like one of those wacko religious people or affirmative action people. Like a poster boy for the NRA, pretty much. Except his guns were cheap. Like I said, he doesn't use good metal. He doesn't use hard. He uses just normal steel, actually, like high grade steel, basically. So his guns wear out like 5 times too fast, and you got to replace the barrels all the time. Because the real good metal, like titanium and like the depleted uranium barrels or like the Damascus steel barrels, well, that actually costs some real money, and that's really hard to work with. So what he does is he builds all kinds of cheap, just steel barrels. They're effective. They work. Just using steel quenching, and you can make a pretty good barrel. That'll take a pretty good amount of powder, but it'll wear out too fast, and it'll also you really have to be careful about the heat. You can't overheat them. Like an old German weapon, if you got your hands on an old German gun, which was made out of Damascus steel or titanium, you could fire them all day. You just until they're glowing red hot. Just keep changing out the clip, and you can keep shooting with those old German guns. Now you take one of Beretti's guns. Well, it's gonna fail. So you'd have to use like a water cooling or something like that, and they warp really easily. Like I say, there's a reason why we use titanium and Damascus steel barrels because they don't warp. Steel likes to warp. They like to do a lot of things. You can use hardened steel and quench it. See, that's what he does. Is he uses hardened steel barrels. He quenches them in water, and then the problem with that though is that every single time they cool off, there's a chance they're going to twist on you, so you won't shoot straight. Which is why we use Damascus steel barrels for all of LS stuff. Lucifer Star. My barrels are Damascus steel or titanium. I would never use a hardened steel barrel. It's just going to warp. Why? That's one of the reasons why we also use the water cooling jackets. That's why you put the water around it, because that way the barrel never gets hot. You go. If you're going to use a hardened steel barrel, you're going to want to use a water jacket. So you're going to want to use, like, basically what you do is you build a thingy, and then put the barrel through. And then it has a contact, so it goes, and it heats up the water around it, so it keeps that barrel nice and cool and nice and straight. So that's how you do it. You go, and then you can, with a water jacket around it. See, like I say, if you're going to use a hardened steel barrel, you want to use a water jacket. You're going to want to use a water jacket. Don't even try it otherwise. Or lots of cooling, because, you start going, it's going to work. Every time. I don't know why. Anyway, at least that's my memory of hardened steel barrels is that they warp. You heat them up, they're going to warp. They always warp. They never stay straight. Ever. So you always got to keep checking that little line. And that's one thing that Ronnie Barrett doesn't tell his customers, is that his barrels are just normal hardened steel. So they're going to warp. There's no point. You're never going to be able to... you buy a gun from him, it's just like... huh. You're going to have to keep messing around with your sight, basically. Anyway, at least that's my knowledge of it, basically, is that you're never going to be able to hit your target with his guns. They're always going to... or... yeah. So... anyway, so you can do whatever you want, and you can buy from him, or you can buy from someone like the Chinese, or the Germans, or anyone else. Or just know that his barrels are always cheap. They're set. He's basically the Saturday night specials. If he does have weapons, it's because he bought from someone, and he'll buy like 50 of the good stuff sometimes, and then he'll sell you the cheap ones. So you can't really tell the difference between a Damascus steel barrel and a hardened steel barrel. So he does that a lot. He does a lot of stuff a lot. He's like anyway, whatever. So a lot of people, and he also a lot of people won't even sell them because anyway. you can learn how about him, and basically it's his family now. I think he's dead or something. I don't really know, or whatever. I'm not exactly sure about him anymore. But basically, he was a real problem. He would kill cops and blow up. He was a real problem. He'd like to shoot people before they became a problem. So anyway, that's how I basically got to know him when I was a child, because of course he saw me as a problem. It's like, what? Anyway, and I'm pretty sure he's the one who said, well, even a creator can die. Like, well, yeah, I guess I could. But then I'm a creator of 800 galaxies and also the one who created particle physics. So anyway, and also helped other people know how to get particle physics and those really good metal qualities. So yeah. Anyway, about that. And I had 12 life form types or a couple more that I had actually personally genetically engineered. Like I say, the reason why in Spanish you say all those words is because of me. I designed this Espanol and a couple other languages as well. I also may have designed some computer languages. Just no one really knew about it. It's just something I did, because I was like that. So, and then later on, when I was done, I finally decided to become a human. So, I'm retired. I lasted 100 trillion years, created all these galaxies, all this matter, all those suns and stars and stuff, and now I'm retired. But, yeah. Well, we all got to retire someday. Like I said, the LSF-A colony ship. So, yeah. Anyway, crazy. I was just a little kid, a little Lucifer. So, anyway, I'm not really not the devil. Never been known as the devil. No. Alexander maybe, or one time I told some people that I was Jesus. Sorry, my bad. Also, like Lucifer Star, that's my main name. Because it's my name. I love the name Lucifer. It's not a bad name. So anyway, also Brian, although they called me Ryan. Everyone always does that. Ryan. Yeah. Anyway, most people love me. So anyway, they know me as the person that protected people. So anyway. Also, Ronnie Barrett was going to die. A lot of people wanted him dead. And he might have come up against, I don't know, Nixon might have been using him for his weapons. But anyway, though, I wouldn't buy from him. You don't want to buy from him. They're cheap. And he's known to say to what one person said, but your trucks have bullet holes in them. And and he said, what do you want, discount? To this guy, I don't know, he's selling some old military trucks. And it's like he had actually shot all the people who were driving them and then went to go sell them. And it's like, and the guy was like, but there's bullet holes right in them. So, and Ronnie Barrett says, what do you want, a discount? So anyway, yeah. So he's that kind of guy. I don't think his family probably doesn't really know how bad he really was or how much he's done. And he never should. I don't know why he did. That was just stupid. And going after truckers. Like poor family men that were just trying to support their children. He would go and hunt them down. And like I said, just driving down the road, and he would just line up on you and just take it to Interstate 10 or whatever and right in the chest. And Ronnie's up there, or at least his people up there with the scope. Shoot some poor little trucker just driving a truck. Yeah, that's him. That's who he is. So anyway, yeah. There are people, like I say, I'm the kind of person that's just like, just like some people you didn't have to. You shouldn't have. But they did it anyway. I don't know what kind of person goes after family men and truckers. But that's what he did. There's some people that couldn't defend themselves. So Ronnie takes some military hardware and some sniper rifles and goes to kill them. Gets their trucks and think it's a good thing. So yeah, I don't like him. He probably doesn't like me. I don't really give a fuck.